Hi, and welcome to the Guy Who Sews podcast, episode 13. Today I'm going to be able to share with you the projects I've been working on during the week, and I'm also very excited to be able to show you some completed objects. And towards the end of the podcast, I also want to be able to share with you some exciting news. So stick with me and we'll get right into the episode. My name is Sean, and I am the Guy Who Sews, and this is my weekly podcast that I post on Sunday mornings. I would like to welcome both new and returning viewers to the video, and I hope you enjoy the content. So let's move on to our works in progress. This week I have been working very hard, and I was able to get quite a bit done on my languishing project, the bear paw quilt. Last week when you guys were here, I had 2 rows of 4 together, so the first 8 blocks together. And I'm excited to be able to share with you that I've actually got all 20 blocks sewn together. It now also has a border, the first border, and I've also attached the first part of the half square triangles to the top. The half square triangles are actually going to go all the way around the quilt, but I've only got the top of it done so far, so hopefully next week when you guys come back you'll be able to see more progress on that as well. I'm so glad that I've been able to get so much of this done. It's been a project I've had in the works for many years, and I'm so excited to be able to see quite a bit of progress done on that. That has been basically the focus of my works in progress this week. The other one I've been working on is actually now a completed project, so we'll show you that in just a little bit. So let's move on now to our week in review video. This is just a short video that I put together just to show you some of the behind the scenes and what I get up to during the week. So enjoy. Well, I hope you enjoyed the week in review video. So let's now move on to one of my favorite parts, the completed projects. First of all, last night I was on a live with Stephanie Stitches and Yvette Renee Creations, where she taught us how to make a really fun block called a mosaic quilt block. And we all did different fabrics, and this was my creation. And I did a bunch of different colors, 4 different colors. I used it out of my scraps. And this is a fun and easy block to make, and I had a lot of fun with it, and this is definitely something I would make again in the very near future. As I mentioned to the people on last night, I plan on using that probably with this to make blocks out of this fun dinosaur fabric, because one of the things I want to do is make a quilt for the Snuggled in Hopes camp up in Ohio. It's a camp for disabled children, and they donate a quilt to every child that camps there. So that is something I want to do, give to the community. And so I thought this may be a fun block to make with this and then some other fabric into a really fun quilt, because I do need a lot more quilts for boys than they do for girls. And the next project that I want to show you that is completed, I am super excited about. I won a quilt kit from Fort Worth Quilt Studios a few weeks, well, maybe 5-6 weeks ago now, and they had a mystery quilt along, and it was supposed to finish about 2 weeks ago, and as I mentioned last week, I'm a little behind, but I worked pretty hard on it during the week, and I'm excited to be able to share with you it's finished. Well, the quilt top's finished. and it looks fantastic. As I mentioned last week, the ones that I saw that were finished were great, and this one is no exception. And here's a bit of a view. And like the other quilts, I'm putting a video up here right now because it's really hard to show you a completed quilt top here in my sewing studio. So I'm thinking putting a video up here may make it a little easier for you guys to see the completed quilt. And so that's it for me for completed objects. My plan now is to dig into the two quilts that I've been talking about forever, the pinwheel quilt and the solar flare quilt. I'm going to start cutting the fabric for that sometime during the week. And so next week you'll be able to hopefully see some progress on that, in addition to the bear paw quilt as well. If you're enjoying the video so far, I would love it if you could hit the like button. It definitely helps me out, and it helps YouTube know that you guys are enjoying the content and are able to share it with others, which is always a great thing. I'd also love to hear your comments. Let me know what you're working on, what you like about the videos and so forth, because your comments matter to me, and it helps me provide better content for you guys in the future. So I have no recent acquisitions this week to show you, but I do want to share two very special announcements with you. First of all, a few months ago I was mentioning to you guys that I rarely win anything, and then I won the quilt kit from Stephanie Stitches a couple of weeks ago, and that was absolutely fantastic. And now I'm excited to say that I've won something else. Last week, Cotton Cuts was wonderful, and they decided to hold a little competition for International Quilting Day, which was yesterday, where you could submit a picture of your favorite quilt and why, and they would draw a random name. And they had a fabulous prize on offer. It is a 3-month membership to their Java Boutique Club, which is 12 fat quarters and a couple of little extra goodies. I bought one of those for myself earlier this year, and I did a video on that. And I'm excited to say that that was the prize that I won, so I am super excited about it. And here is a picture of the quilt that I submitted. It is a quilt that I made for my sister and my nephew. It was her first child that was born in December of 2020. And it is a picture of 8 little dash hounds. And I did it in a variety of colors in a rainbow because my nephew Boston was a rainbow baby. And we all love Dachshunds. Our family is a big family of Dachshund lovers. I have one, my sister has one, my dad has one. And so it was, I believe, a very fitting quilt for her. And so I'm excited to be able to get these boxes in the mail over the next few months and be able to share those with you and make some fun projects out of these boutiques, because they send out the best boutique fabrics in my opinion. And secondly, the other announcement I have is you may have seen my tutorial series on the stained glass windows. I had a bunch of fun making those, so I'm going to do another tutorial series very, very soon. I'm hoping to get it done this week, but I am not making any promises. But it is going to be a step-by-step short video series, and I'm going to publish one per week on how to make your very own t-shirt quilt. So the first video will just be simply how to measure stuff out, how to put the backing on it, and then we can move on to cutting the shirts or laying them out and so forth. Now the way I do it may not be the same way as you do it or your friend does it, but this is the way I found it works for me, and so I hope it works for you. So definitely check those out. Well, that wraps up everything for this episode. Definitely hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a great week and happy sewing and get as much sewing in as you want, and we'll see you all again next week for episode 14. Have a good week. Bye.